Your phone is on the kitchen counter. The screen lights up with a message from your co-parent. Need to be 4:30, not 5. If you're listening, something at home has shifted. Maybe recently, maybe a long time ago. Welcome, I'm Remy. This is CoParentSpace, the calm space for parents and children living between two homes. What you'll hear is grounded in attachment science and clinical research. It isn't therapy, and it isn't medical or legal advice. If you or your child are struggling, please talk to someone who can help in person. This is a quiet place to think. It doesn't take sides. Here's today's piece.
Tuesday morning. Your phone is on the kitchen counter. The screen lights up with a message from your co-parent. Pick up tomorrow, need to be 4:30, not 5. Soccer thing. You read it once. You feel something small and immediate in your chest. Not anger, not even irritation. Something closer to a flinch. You read it again. You can't find anything specifically wrong with it. The information is there. The timing is reasonable. The notice is enough. There's nothing in the text you could legitimately object to. But you've been flinched. You know you've been flinched. And you know you're now going to reply with something that has its own small edge, and they'll feel that edge. And the day will start with two adults slightly tense about a soccer pickup that didn't need any of it. Today's episode is about what just happened. What this episode is about. This episode is the first principle of co-parent communication. Every other article in this module rests on it. So do most of the articles in the rest of the library.
Once a week is sustainable. Once a day isn't. If you're sending hot messages more frequently than weekly, the pre-send pause isn't being practiced yet. The skill is acquirable, but you have to actually do it. Set a reminder if you have to. The pool-style monthly governance, covered elsewhere, is helpful here too. Track your own send patterns, not your co-parents'. The day you handle it well doesn't need a moment of self-congratulation. When you successfully send a calm, well-toned message that diffuses a situation, you don't need to mark it or even particularly notice. The aim is for these messages to be ordinary. The fewer of them feel like achievements, the closer you are to the practice having become the texture of your life. The closing. Tuesday morning. Your phone is on the kitchen counter. The screen lights up with the message about the soccer pickup. You read it once. You feel the small flinch. You wait a full minute. You don't reply yet. You read it again. You notice that the flinch wasn't about the message. The flinch was about 100 prior messages that had real edges, and this one's surface is bringing them back. The message itself is fine. You type a reply. Got it. 4:30 instead of 5. See you tomorrow. You read it out loud. It sounds warm enough. It says what needs to be said, and nothing else. You send. Your phone goes back on the counter. You go finish your coffee. Your child in the next room didn't see any of this. They didn't need to. The household stays warm. The day starts the way the day was always going to start, except that one small thing, almost invisible, didn't go wrong. This is what tone over content looks like in practice on a Tuesday. Not because the message mattered, because the household mattered, because the child mattered, because both parents in different rooms in different houses were each making one small, almost invisible choice to write the next chapter of their child's life in a slightly warmer key, which is, in the end, the only chapter that matters.
The principle is simple to state. It's hard to practice.
The principle is how a message lands has very little to do with the words in the message and almost everything to do with the tone underneath them. Once you can hear this, almost every difficult co-parent communication looks different. The episode covers 4 things: what tone actually is and how to detect it, why your child is the real reader of every message you exchange, the pre-send pause, and the question that, asked honestly, prevents most of the damage these messages do. If you read only one episode in this module, read this one. What tone actually is. Most people asked what tone is give answers about word choice. He used a harsh word. She was sarcastic. They said the thing rudely. Word choice is part of tone, but it's a small part. Tone is composed of several layers, most of them invisible. Punctuation and rhythm. A full stop after each sentence reads as clipped. Commas read as connected. No punctuation at all reads as cold. The same sentence with different punctuation lands with different temperatures. Length. A 2-word reply to a paragraph reads as dismissive. A paragraph in reply to a 2-word message reads as escalating. Length signals investment. Mismatched lengths are friction. Timing. A message sent at 7 a.m. reads differently than the same message sent at 11 p.m. A reply that comes in 2 minutes reads differently than the same reply that comes in 2 days. Timing is itself a kind of speech. The opening word. Hi, hey, look, so, no opener. Each one signals something different about the temperature of what's coming. Most parents stop using openers after about 6 months of co-parenting. The disappearance of the opener is itself information. The closing word. Thanks, cheers, X, no closing. Closings drift the same way openers do. By year 2, most messages close with nothing. Channel choice. Sending a message about a delicate topic by text rather than by phone or in person sends a signal. The signal is, I don't want to actually talk to you about this. The signal lands whether or not you intended it. What's not said? The thing you didn't acknowledge. The question you didn't answer. The earlier message you didn't reference. Omissions have tone too. Sometimes more than what's present. Add these together. The actual words might be entirely neutral. The tone, composed of everything underneath the words, might be furious, dismissive, weary, contemptuous, or warm. Your co-parent will feel the tone before they parse the words. So will you, when their messages arrive. Your child is the real reader. Here's the part most parents don't notice for the first 6 months of co-parenting. Every message you send to your co-parent will be read, eventually, by your child. Not necessarily directly. The child probably won't ever scroll through your messages. But the tone of your written exchanges will saturate the household. It will be in the way you greet your co-parent at handovers. It will be in the way your face changes when your phone lights up. It will be in how long you take to reply, and whether you put the phone down with a small sigh. It will be in the small comments you make about messages. Sometimes to yourself, sometimes in the room with your child. The child reads all of this. They read it like text. They cannot read the actual messages, but they have an unerring sense of whether the relationship between their 2 parents on a Tuesday morning is warm or cold, or hot or empty. This is why tone matters more than content. The content of your message is read by one person. The tone is read by everyone in your home, especially the child, whose nervous system is calibrated to detect exactly this kind of signal. A perfectly sensible message sent with cold tone produces a cold household. A slightly imperfect message sent with warmth produces a warm household. The child doesn't know the difference between the two messages. They know the difference between the two households. If you only carried one sentence out of this episode, it would be this: write every message as if your child is going to read it in 5 years and ask you gently what was happening that day. The pre-send pause. Once you can see tone, the next skill is catching tone before the message has gone out. Most messages between separated co-parents are written in a state that isn't optimal for communicating with another adult. Tired, late, cooking dinner with one hand, at a desk in the middle of a workday, just put the child to bed, just got home from your co-parent's handover. None of these are good states for crafting tone. The pre-send pause is the small habit of, before pressing send, doing 3 things. Read the message out loud, quietly, to yourself. Hearing it out loud reveals tone in a way reading it silently doesn't. The sarcasm you didn't notice, the clipped sentences, the unintentional iciness. Out loud, your own voice will catch most of what your typing didn't. Imagine your child reading it. Not now. In 5 years, reading the message back, looking at you across a table, asking neutrally, what was going on with you and Dad that day? If the answer to that question, told honestly, would embarrass you, the message needs another draft. Wait 60 seconds. Not 24 hours, not 3 days. 60 seconds. Most bad messages are sent in the first 30 seconds after typing. The act of waiting 1 minute, with the message visible on screen, with no pressure to do anything, lets your nervous system come down enough to see what you wrote. The pre-send pause is a 30-second habit. It saves entire weeks. It also turns out to be the most underused skill in co-parent communication. Most parents have heard versions of it. Most don't. The ones who do report that within a few weeks, the entire texture of their co-parent communication changes, and they don't fully understand why. The reason is that the messages they're now sending land differently. The replies they get back are warmer. The cycle that used to escalate now de-escalates. Their co-parent didn't change. They did. The change is invisible but consequential. The single most important question. Most communication mistakes books offer long checklists. Most don't help in the moment because you don't have time for a checklist when you're typing in a tired state. There's a single question that does most of the work of the longer lists. Before sending any message that has any temperature in it at all, ask, would I send this message exactly as written if I were in the room with my co-parent, with my child also present, and we just finished a calm conversation about something else? That's the test. Not is this true? It usually is. Not is this fair? It usually is. Not is this what they have coming? Often yes. The test is, would I say this exactly this way in a calm room with the child in earshot? If yes, send it. If no, revise. Most messages fail this test in their first draft. Most messages, after a revision or 2, pass it. The revised version is almost always shorter, less specific in its complaints, less elaborately reasoned, and warmer at the edges. It's almost always also more effective. The original message, if sent, would have escalated. The revised version doesn't. You can ask yourself this question in 3 seconds. Doing so once before every message that has temperature is more useful than reading any number of articles about communication, this episode included. when you're going to do it badly anyway. Some days you will fail. You'll send something hot. You'll feel it the moment after it sends. The familiar lurch. A few things to know. The repair message is more powerful than the avoidance message. If you've sent something hot, the next message can be a short repair. Sorry, my last message had an edge it didn't need it to. The underlying point still stands, but I should have said it differently. That second message, sent within an hour, will often dissolve almost all of the damage of the first. What doesn't dissolve the damage? Pretending the first message wasn't hot. Continuing to send more hot messages because the first one's tone has now been ratified by silence. Doubling down on the substance to justify the heat. None of these work. The repair works. That's today's piece. If it helped, the full written version, and more like it, are at CoParentSpace.com. Be gentle with yourself. I'll be here next time.